Hi Year 11 students, parents and carers, it's Mr Turner, Year Leader for Year 11, and I'm just going to go through in more detail around how we will reach teacher assessed grades, or tags as you might hear them referred to over the next couple of weeks, for your 2021 GCSE and vocational qualifications. So I just want to start by saying I know that the AP2 reports have come out recently. Those reports are not what you will receive for your GCSE grades. They are a report or a snapshot on how you are performing at the moment. They would always go out at this stage before exams or anything took place, and you still have all the power within you to consolidate or change those grades and increase what you have received based on what you do over the next X amount of weeks. So please do not take the AP2 report as gospel as that is what your grade is. Everybody has the opportunity to improve them and do what you need to do from here. So, looking at teacher assessed grades, I want to start by looking at our timeline to success. So we're going to look at the timeline of how much we have to do over the next X amount of weeks and what you're expected within that time frame. So the first thing is that we return into school on March the 8th after you've had your COVID test. You will also be tested another 2 times when you return, week commencing March the 8th, so everyone is safe to be in school. But when you return to school on March the 8th, we will have 3 weeks until the Easter holidays. Everything will be returned back to normal. You will be in the classrooms you were in before Christmas, and you will be completing lessons with your teachers. Then we have the Easter holidays. That, for me, is an ideal opportunity to do 2 weeks of retrieval practice. So more information from subject-specific areas will come out on what retrieval should be completed, but this is all helping us prepare for what is remaining within the Year 11 time frame. Then after the Easter holidays, we return and you will have opportunities to showcase your knowledge, and that will be approximately a 4-week period where again you will be in lessons and you will be completing in-class assessments as needed, depending on what you need to show for evidence within each subject area. Then in mid to late May, we will be looking at mini tests. Now, mini tests have been announced by the government. You should have seen more information on them by now, and I will be going through more detail, but I very much want to put across there that they are mini tests with safety nets. I will go through all of the details, but they are nothing to be concerned about at all, because they're very much in your favour to make sure you can display the knowledge you need to show to provide evidence for the grade you should achieve. Then we have a results day, which is different this year as well, because the results day has been brought forward to the 12th of August and not later on in August as it usually is. So your results will be coming out on the 12th of August. So that's the timeline to success. Now moving on, I want to go through how we are potentially going to arrive at your teacher assessed grades. So first of all, we're going to look at subject evidence based. So no one piece of standalone evidence will determine your final outcome. I can't stress that enough. So whether that's a forecast exam that we did virtually, whether that's an assessment that you do within class, or whether that's a piece of work or an amount of work that you produce for the subject, not one single piece of evidence alone will determine what you do. So that can be looked at from a lower end and from a higher end. It's got to be an overall process. But if you've done something that isn't at the level that you want it to be, it is not going to affect you for your final grade. All teachers will share their evidence base for their subject areas with you. So all students, when you return, you will see information from your teachers for every single subject of what they want to see to make sure you have the evidence to get the grades you need. Evidence will all be individualised for every subject. So as a teacher of construction, the evidence I need is very different to the teacher of English. So all evidence will be individualised for every subject and each subject that you study. You will see that there is massive differences between the evidence base for GCSE and vocational qualifications. So again, if you're doing a BTEC qualification, we still have to produce evidence that is assessed. So that will be different evidence than what you will be requested for GCSE. So don't panic if you see a difference. There is a very big difference between the two. And every subject will provide opportunities for you to showcase your abilities. That doesn't mean that English will provide the same opportunities as maths. That doesn't mean that maths will provide the same opportunities as art. It will be very much different for each subject depending on what they need to receive, but every subject will provide you with opportunities before we calculate the grades. So how are we going to get the accuracy of grades? I will be involved in reviewing student outcomes. So I have already looked at all of the reports that have gone out from AP2, and I will have phone calls with parents and carers, and I will speak to individual students around information on reports. I will also have the first quality assurance check in place to make sure that the grades are accurate before they are sent off. There will be a whole college approach to check the reliability of evidence-based and grades to be entered. So every faculty has their own and a common quality assurance process that we go through, including ranking students based on what you have completed over your time within Key Stage 4 to have checks in place for reliability of evidence. Analysis of comparable outcomes for access to the full grade range will also be completed. So we will look at everything from bottom end to top end and make sure that it's comparable across the board so that there's nothing that stands out with grades that are incorrect. Mini tests, as I've already said, will be used as another layer to benchmark and showcase your true ability further, but it is your opportunity to provide that evidence. So while we're on the subject of mini tests, we will see the tests before you complete them. We will remove questions that we haven't studied. So you will only ever be asked questions in the mini tests for subject content that you have completed within year 10 or year 11, or you are going to complete moving forward. They are completed in class, so they are not done in a hall. They are done within a classroom. They will still be done under exam conditions, but it will be a massive opportunity for you to showcase your true ability. So that will all link into the retrieval process over the Easter holidays, and more work we will complete after Easter, but the mini test should not be seen as a pressurized situation at all, because they are not. They are the perfect opportunity for you to show your true ability, which you haven't had that opportunity before. So please do not be concerned around mini tests. They are very much a good and fair system that has been brought in. They will be completed by the exam board, so there's validity there as well. They will be marked by your classroom teachers, and there will be processes in place to make sure accuracy of marking. What we are also going to do at that stage is we will be anonymising your papers. So you are not going to write your name on your paper. It is going to be a number system which makes sure that there's another quality check in there as well. At this stage, I need to state this without any doubt whatsoever. Nothing is predetermined by anyone but the effort you choose to invest. So I cannot have any student at this moment in time saying, well, I might as well give up now because of what was based on my reports. Nothing at all is predetermined by anyone. You have the total opportunity to work as hard as you can over the next X amount of weeks and do everything that I ask you as your year leader and your subject teachers ask you within lessons, and you can achieve the grades that you want to achieve. Now, moving on to a few questions. What I want to do is dispel the myths that are already out there. So we've talked about AP2. AP2 is not the be-all end-all, so stop worrying about AP2 and worry about what's ahead of you. Let's talk about fairness. So all schools will follow the same guidelines. So everything is fair. All schools are subject to the same quality assurance checks, and judgments will be evidence-based. I cannot stress that enough. No grade will be given based on how you have behaved or how you have been within this school. All judgments will be based on evidence in front of us. So the more evidence that is there, the better the grade and the better the chance you have to succeed. But if you have done things wrong in the past that will not be held against you, you still have the chance to produce the evidence that you need to produce. As I already said, internal mini tests will be anonymised, so that's an extra layer of protection. So teachers won't be marking papers based on names, they'll be marking papers based on numbers. Now, the good thing about that is that then there is no predetermined judgment in when marking takes place. What rights do you have? So before we set the grades, you can tell us any relevant context that you think has affected you in this whole process. So that could be something COVID related, that could be something that we don't know about that has gone on outside of school, but you have the right to tell us that so we can consider it whilst we are looking at your grades. After you receive your results, you can appeal, and you can appeal on two levels. You can appeal directly to the school, and we will check that we haven't made any errors and that we're confident in our judgment. You can then also appeal to the exam board. They will review the evidence that we have and the evidence that we've used as a school, which will then give you an outcome. However, it's really important to remember that if you do appeal, results can go down or up based on appeal. So it is not just a one-way process. So that should answer quite a lot of the questions that are out there at the moment. What I want to do now is just very quickly play you a message from Mrs. Ovens, who, as you know by now, works very closely with me as the deputy head teacher and the senior leadership link to year 11, and she just wants to give you a very quick message based on what we're talking about today.
Hi Year 11, exactly as Mr. Turner has just talked about there, we want you to excel this year. We know how amazing you are going to be as 2021 leavers, and therefore we will put everything into place to ensure that there is a fairness and an equity, and all we need from you is to showcase your best. Please make sure you engage in every opportunity that is given to you. Please make sure we can see your true ability. We want you to do well. We want you to believe in the process. We want to work with you. Please allow us to ensure that we can get you to where you need to get so you can be successful, because you deserve the best grades. We know that, you know that. Show us that, please. Show us your true ability. Best of luck, Year 11.
Cannot echo everything that Mrs. Ovens has said there any more than I have to you ever since I took over this year group in year 9. We know how amazing you are. We know the amazing results that you will achieve. We just need you to not give up on the process and follow things as best as you can over the next X amount of weeks so we can all get this conclusion as we want. So just to wrap things up, and in conclusion to this, what should you do now? So, can't stress enough, keep going. Forget AP2, forget what has gone on. All I want you to do is come in on Monday the 8th and hit the ground running. From the very first lesson to all the way through, and do everything that you can do within your powers to show the best you at all times. Trust the process, as Mrs. Ovens said. We are very confident in what we've arranged to do, and it will get us the best results as a school and the best results for you as individuals. But you can only do this if you trust the process and do what we're asking you to do. How can you improve? Attend all lessons. Don't have any absence between now and when you leave. Make sure that you're engaged in all lessons as well. Work hard. I've never stopped saying that from the day that I've took over as your year leader. Work hard all the time in every opportunity that you have. So when you think, oh, I won't do that tonight, I'll do the Xbox instead, well, don't. Do that little bit extra and just keep pushing yourself, and use the time over Easter as well to make sure you're preparing for whatever's coming after Easter. Follow your teacher instructions. Now is not the time to start arguing or disagreeing with what teachers are telling you. Make sure you're doing everything that they're telling you to do, because those are the people who are going to put the evidence in place for the grades that you need. And finally, ask questions, whether that's to me, whether that's to your teachers, whether that's to Mrs. Ovens, whether that's to Mr. Tillen or any of your tutors. Ask any question that you think is valid at this point, because even if it just gives you a tiny bit of confirmation, it is worthwhile asking that question. So guys, I can't stress enough what I already have again. I am not concerned about this process. I am not concerned by what we will achieve at the end, because I know how amazing we are as a year group. What I need you to do is come back, hit the ground running, and trust everything that we're doing, and you will achieve the grades you deserve at the end of the year, as I've said from day one. So guys, massive good luck, be prepared, work hard, and we will all get to the conclusion that we need. If you have any questions around this, please call me as a parent or a carer, email me if you need to, and students, I will speak to you when we return on the 8th of March. Good luck guys, thank you, and let's all do this together.